ChatGPT needs no intro. Today I want to build something that integrates GPT via the GPT API into a larger workflow and accelerates it. A GPT integrated app. So why integrate GPT into an app? I'm sure you've clicked one of those sparkly AI buttons before and been like, this could have been a prompt. I think the answer is not that complicated, it just flows better. Some problems have a really large and complex context that is constantly changing, and it's just really annoying to constantly have to fill in ChatGPT as to what's changed and then prompt it to format the result in a way that you can easily copy and paste it back into the app you just came from. Sometimes it just flows better to have it integrated. Okay, so what type of app do we want to build today? All right, I'm thinking something in the realm of lead generation. Why? It's a common problem, it's an interesting problem, and it's a pain in the ass. Now, I don't know much about sales, but you know who does? Mr. Alex Hormozi, author of $100 million leads and $100 million offers. The way he puts it is simple.
So the first question I get is, but how do I contact them? The simple answer is you build a list, and there's 3 ways to build a list. You can scrape them, you can buy them, you can look for them. So once you scrape the list, here's what you say. So personalize and then give big fast value, right? And the reason for that is because they don't know us and they don't trust us.
First, you need an offer, you need a list, and you need a message. And in that message, you need to deliver big fast value. Today I want to focus on the message, not to make something marketable, but to get in the realm of solving a real pain point, flexing the creative muscle a bit. And also as an engineer, to just see what it's like to use the GPT API. I've always wanted to, I never have. So today's the day. Also, this is my first AI video, so I'm not exactly sure who I'm talking to. Maybe engineers, maybe entrepreneurs, maybe a mixture of both, hopefully a mixture of both. So I'm going to try and keep the nerdy talk to a comfortable 50%, okay? By the way, I filmed this in real time a few days ago, and I watched it back and realized I barely talked, so I'm going to be chiming in with these cutaways. All right, enough yapping, let's get into it. Let's get this done in like 2 hours, famous last words. Okay, first things first, let's get a Git repository going. Okay, cool, our project is set up, and now we need data. Specifically, we need a list. That list being a list of leads. Okay, so I don't have a CRM, don't have HubSpot, I don't have Salesforce, Pipedrive, whatever they're using these days. I'm not going to set them up just for this video, but I do have Notion, which can absolutely be used as a CRM. So let's set up Notion tables that will serve as our mock CRM. Okay, let's build the corresponding leads table in Notion and populate it with 10 leads. Oh, this is silly. Okay. But I want to... this is good, but these are really basic impersonal data points. It's just the name, the company, the email. You might as well have a templated message. I want to show off that GPT personalization. It's half the point. So I'm going to need some more personal data, or at least relationship data, because those are the real variables that control what you're going to say to someone in a message. It's what's our relationship, how did we meet, do I know them at all, what's their position, all these interesting variables that affect your message style. But the current data points are quite impersonal. The type of variables that affect let's see what you got, GPT. Let's see. Role head of operations. Interesting. Okay, keep it simple. Got to resist the urge to make it complex. Let's keep it simple. We're taking this in the context of a single business, and that could have multiple offers for different types of clients at different... Maybe they offer different products. Maybe they have one main offer. Maybe they have a smaller offer. I don't know. A company can have multiple offers. So an offer should be clear, so simple. We need an offer. And as Hormozy puts it, create an offer so good they'll feel stupid saying no. If your offer sucks, it doesn't matter how good your message is. Nobody's gonna want it. As the saying goes, no point putting lipstick on a pig. In other words, if your offer is trash, a well-crafted message is not gonna save it. Let's build 2 new tables. Let's go. Okay, business profile, business, website, industry, target persona, or offering key differentiator, brand tone, what the hell? You're doing too much, GPT. You're doing too much. There's a grand slam offer, you know? I don't know if that's doing too much. It's just where my brain works sometimes. This is getting complicated. Why? I can't help but think in terms of variability. So it's hard for me to not think that we need like a sales persona table. Oh my goodness. What is happening to this project? I'm not going to add it. I'm going to add it. If you think about it, if you had a sales persona, okay, there's 3 levels where you can attribute the tone. The tone can be probably the brand tone of the business. It could be the tone of the sales persona, or it could just be the tone of the message. Because it's like, why would you want the tone to be like, because you're gonna automate this. You're gonna ideally have like 20, 30 leads, and you're gonna want to click one button, which is gonna, like, you don't want to set preferences for each individual messages, for each individual message. That's like that's a pain in the butt. You kind of want the persona to be consistent, because in real life, if you're a sales rep going through these leads one by one, like, how much are you, dude, like, how schizophrenic are you going to be about it? You know, like I don't work in sales, but I can't imagine like how many personalities are you supposed to have, you know? It's just, aren't you like supposed to be fairly consistent? So shouldn't the tone be at the sales persona level, not the message level, you know? I believe this is what they refer to as scope creep, and it is happening bad. Okay, I did build out an initial version of the server, but I forgot to record it. Basically, I wrote endpoints that successfully read from Notion and write to Notion, and an endpoint that streams messages from the GPT API. So now that that's done, you have to take my word for it. Let's build out the front end. It's day 2. I have to say I'm really regretting going full relational database on this project with Notion. I wish I'd kept it simple. I'm really tired today. Not really feeling it. The plan was to at least finish the front end today. So, as Layla Hormozy puts it,
how do you feel? You should pay attention to your feelings. Buck your mood, follow the plan.
all that space and you're not using it. What's going on? Oh, I know what it is. Stupid. Default. The default CSS. You can piss off. That's what it is. And there we go. All right, I'm ready to connect my server to GPT, which means it's time to get an API key. If you don't know what an API key is, think of it as like a secret password that tells OpenAPI, hey, this is a request coming from a real person, a person who's allowed to use the service and is okay with being charged. It's kind of like a username and password smushed together. So yeah, without it, your app has no access to GPT. Okay, so to get one, you have to head over to platform.openapi.com, name it, sign it to a project, and make sure you copy and store it because you only get to see it once. And of course, never show it to anyone for obvious reasons because then they can drain your bank account. Okay, once you have a key, you'll have access to a ton of really cool models. Yeah, it's not just text anymore. The GPT API supports vision, audio, file uploads, functions, memory, and more depending on the model and endpoint. It's evolving fast. It's pretty cool. Okay, we can fetch data from Notion. We can connect to GPT. We have a front-end prototype. Let's give it a test. Okay, let's try it out. Okay. What? Okay. Kinda works. It's just super clunky. You can tell by my reaction that I am not done here. Okay, this is technically a working integration, and I could call it here, but I don't want to because hitting APIs is not enough of a challenge. You know? I want to also exercise that AI problem-solving muscle, which means stepping closer to something I might actually use. Okay, so if I were actually doing outreach to real leads with real stakes, would I use this? Hell no. So I want to get that hell no to hell maybe, you know? To me, the next best move here is to do a massive simplification and cleanup step. Because right now it's become a bit too chaotic to build on top of, so. Alright. Okay, enough yapping, let's do it. Okay, we've cleaned up the front end. It's time to simplify the Notion schema. Okay, cool. The schema is a lot simpler. The fields are a lot more relevant, and I think they can fuel a much cleaner message prompt. Fingers crossed. Let's fix up the server and do some final front-end tweaks. Okay, so we've run into an issue where it's not reading new line characters in the message payload, so it ends up rendering as a giant hard to read blob of text. Quick check to see if the browser is receiving new lines. Quick double check to see what exactly the server is sending. Yep, they are definitely there. This is brilliant. The problem here is a double new line is how the server signals the end of a message chunk. So what do you do when double new line is the message chunk? At this point I can't be bothered to do any investigation on this issue, so I'm just going to solve this in the laziest way possible. I'm just going to take a peek at chatgpt.com's message structure and copy it. Alright, let's have a sneaky look here, okay. And surprise, surprise, I was sending raw message chunks, but their streaming format is JSON, where each chunk is wrapped in a nice little structure with the delta and the role and the event type clearly separated. Okay, so I updated my server encoder and client decoder to match it, and it should be ready for a final demo. Let's go. But before we do, let's generate a beautiful offer Hormozi would be proud of. Right, Grand Slam offer. Just making one for a hypothetical AI automation agency. Surprise, surprise. Stream outcome. Free up your time / overhead and reclaim your calendar by automating repetitive admin tasks using your very own AI-powered internal tools. Effort and sacrifice, no need to hire devs, learn prompt engineering, or waste time with Zapier. Oh, shots fired. Interesting, interesting. Not bad. This will do just fine let's copy it over. Move this over to here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with... It's a pretty aggressive call to action. I don't know. I feel like that's step one for everyone. No, I think step one is an expression of interest. Anyway. Friendly. Alright, let's import leads. No. Yes, it worked. Yep, so it's imported our leads from our Notion leads table into our front-end table. Nothing else to do except select. What's the relationship? None, referral, meta conference. Okay, awesome. Oh, why am I nervous? Alright, moment of truth. Let's do it. And generate. Let's go. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's definitely working. But, okay, so it's done. Alright. Wait, I'll come back and read these. Let's first test out saving. Let's go, and let's check out Jack Thompson. There it is. Look at that. So this could theoretically be any CRM. This could be HubSpot, whatever has an API that you can connect to. But yeah, there they are. All three messages in Notion. So it's a proof of concept. Okay, let's read one of these. Subject: transform patient follow-ups with ease. Grace. A little bit spammy, but not bad. Hi Grace. It was great meeting you at the conference. I remember you mentioned the challenge of tracking patient follow-ups at Nova Health, and I'd love to help. Imagine freeing up your time, cutting overhead, and streamlining your workflow by automating those repetitive admin tasks with your own AI-powered tools. We promise a 100% done-for-you setup, tailored specifically for your needs, no tech skills required. You'll start seeing results within just 7 days. Not spammy, salesy at all. Let's book a 30-minute demo call to show you how we can transform your workflow and guarantee you save at least 10 hours a week. Ooh, very assertive. I don't hate it. Looking forward to helping Nova Health thrive. Oh, the confidence. Your name, contact information. Okay. Not as bad as I thought. I didn't think it was going to be bad. It's just, I thought I'd need to do a lot more tweaking the system prompt, but this does leave room to do something I've been wanting to try out, and that is GPT fine-tuning. To feed, it's a way for you to feed a GPT model custom training data so it can get really good at one particular thing and like behave almost exactly in the way that you want it to, like consistently. So I might try that out in a future video. Anyway, this is not bad. It's a good starting point. Definitely has some spammy salesy bits that's what I'd like want to fine tune out of it, but it's not terrible. Let's see how. It's not bad. I was expecting something spammy that'd sink to the dirty depths of someone's inbox. The emojis are cringe. That's spammy, but it's not terrible. This is not bad. It's a good start. Well done, GPT and me for using it. So that's the build. We have a somewhat usable GPT-powered outreach tool that pulls leads from Notion. It's in the realm of useful. It's not quite there yet, but it's just on the borderline, on the doorstep. Okay, if you found this interesting or just inspiring, hit like, subscribe, and stick around because I've got a lot more interesting builds like this coming. I want to use this channel to cover some technical stuff like AI tool development, but also to share personal development and the entrepreneurial lessons I've learned along my journey. See you in the next one.